master in battle. What manner of demon are you? Ah, the so-called Guardian. How fitting that we are allied once again.
Hey guys, it's Kusi. By the end of Season 1 of Midnight is in graspable range.
What?
Is that how you say it?
No?
To reset my mental state, I figured that instead of molding over the upcoming dungeons to instead make use of the time that I have left right now, and finally, for the first time in this season, I'm going to 3.4k by pugging my way through the ranks of the Muppet Show that is LFG. And I do it on one of the most badass classes this game has to offer, without a doubt. With the absolute banging, insanely well designed, and totally almost meta spec of Destruction.
Oh, better luck next time, buddy! Woo! Woo!
Hell yeah. Cooldown's favorite doesn't rely on commanding a petting zoo full of naked cats and walking bats, or even spreading your seed everywhere like you're in some Bonnie Blue production.
What do you mean by that?
We do exactly as advertised. We destroy. I said we destroy. Now that's what I'm talking about. So in order to celebrate our undertaking of representing the lowest populated spec in higher keys, only beaten by Devastation because there's apparently none, which I really hope they buff Guardian for that. But anyways, in order to get this party started and to start our journey to greatness, we need a good base, some decent item level, a good build, and of course, a sick transmog to showcase that we mean business. So while I let some of the delves and praise I did for gearing run in the background, let's quickly talk about the rules of this, as we usually are very particular when it comes to 0 to hero. First and foremost, we got no active Red.io connection. Nobody sees that I'm a hard-stuck 3k player that attempts to go beyond his own skill cap. We also don't use our friend list and our guilds to gain an advantage for participation. We use the LFG tool. Furthermore, even though I do stream this journey for the most part live over on Twitch, I try my very best to not have any involvement from viewers in this series as soon as it gets interesting. I did record a few lower dungeons with 2 of my viewers earlier, but both of them had lesser gear than me and none of them carried in any way, shape or form, as you will see for yourself. And of course, this journey ends whenever we reach the rating of 3400 rating in any way we see fit, while only playing Destruction. Because the best trinkets drop from raiding though, I also allow this, but again, only pugging. Now then, with rules out of the way, my gearing primarily insisted of praise, delves, and making use of a few Warbound Champ battery items I had. With an item level of 240 however, I feel confident enough to be of use in keys coming up ahead. So we had to fix one final thing, the transmog. Now obviously, when it comes to dressing, I'm a caveman. Black goes with everything and make sure it's not dirty. That's the only 2 rules I know. So I cooked up the best thing I could in order to promote the Felfire theme this puppy will dish out to the world. Gul'dan's shoulders, a fell-invested cloak, and horrid earmuffs to block out complaints from the haters. I'd say we're cooking. Oh yeah, this is the build. No idea if it's good, I just snatched that off of some website, but I will put more effort into looking that up in the future. Now, in order to get good at what we're doing, it's helpful to understand how it works, at least the baseline. Luckily, because I'm a total knobhead, Destro at its core is easier to understand than an open or closed sign at your local McDonald's. Not sponsored. We generate soul shards, or embers, which look like soul shards, by using pretty much every button that does damage and doesn't cost soul shards. Because we do spend those embers / soul shards on either Rain of Fire, which is an AoE that got designed in early 2000s and still is the exact same thing, Chaos Bolt, which does some medium damage, and it hurt my soul because back in the day that thing was hitting, but it always crits, and Shadowburn, which is our execute that hits harder than Chaos Bolt, at least at my current gear, which, due to a talent, also always crits. Our core gameplay pretty much revolves around keeping Immolate up on targets, which is a single target dot, technically, but can be spread to multiple targets by either using Flat Rate?
Conflict rate.
Or by using Cataclysm, which is not only our grandpa's favorite WoW expansion, but also a big AoE hit that applies Immolate to all targets it hits. After that, we spam the ever-living hell out of Incinerate, which is Destro's version of Shadow Bolt, and then depending on the situation, Rain of Fire when we got big packs, Chaos Bolt when it's just a few mobs or you want to hit a high HP target down, or Shadow Burn whenever we get the free cast or whenever mobs are low enough to finish them off. Not Thailand massage style.
Naughty, naughty.
The cool thing is that our filler Incinerate also acts as an AoE button because it does go down on any other target for 25% of the main target's damage. It doesn't really pump, but it helps generate a lot more shards during AoE for sure. Alright, enough with the theory yapping. Let's dive into some action, shall we?
Yes. Okay, let's go.
Dipping into Nexus Point Xenas right away was not necessarily on my wishlist, but we start with the big ass pull, me standing and stuff, and no bloodlust as well. Just your typical +2 if you ask me. One thing I do need to remember for the next time is to instantly place my teleport, because we can use that very teleport to remove this little ring around us. Because even though it doesn't really do shit now, it will hurt eventually. My gameplay queue pretty much contains Cataclysm into Rain of Fire and then just stack shards for Rain of Fire. And then I'm just hoping to do some damage. I guess, I don't know.
God have mercy upon us.
Also, them sound effects you hear are from my Blizzard internal Cooldown Manager. I put some sound alerts on some spells for the proc to have a notification when it's up, so... Yeah, shut up you damn pig. But because this is only a +2 and you can walk backwards while having a randomizer for your action buttons and you'd still time it, let's jump ahead to a Magus 5, in which Saloon joined me for a quick run on her undergeared mage with a similar item level. And I quickly smoked her overall, no biggie. Other than that, this key wasn't noteworthy, I just wanted to make sure that you guys can relax, I'm still him. Now then, for the fun part. Pit of Sharon. A lot of dead and even more undead? Wait, doesn't undead just mean they're not dead?
Are you stupid or something?
Am I undead? Are you undead? Is Ariana Grande undead? I'm a fan of this dungeon when playing DPS though, due to the nature of a lot of pulls happening with high trash count. And make no mistake about it, me saying this while putting footage on in which I top the meters ain't a coincidence. Similar to us getting absolutely ass blasted by an unpredicted pull wasn't a coincidence either. And do you guys remember the memes back when hunters used a spell called Barrage that just AoE pulled the entire area of 40 yards? Well, that meme now swapped over to Arcane. Because those slackers cause more wipes than the roll of paper towels next to your PC, you filthy, dirty little... In our post-swipe clarity, however, we had yet another issue, which I don't know how to explain, so you can guys help me. On the boss, we had some mad problems staying alive. Staying alive. A lot of HP bars didn't move, while our healer was spinning on one target. Now, I'm not a Mistweaver main by all means, but that doesn't seem reasonable whatsoever. Though eventually he got himself so dizzy that instead of healing, he pressed Alt 4. Or maybe he had some Omega ping and it eventually crashed, but I like my theory more. So we went again. This time I got completely smoked in damage. The mage I was competing with absolutely left me in the dust, and even the shaman who played high key build that completely revolves around ascending was smoking me in any way, shape or form. Granted, at this point it's safe to say that besides the skill that I'm always lacking, missing gear and any tier also didn't help. On Nick and Crick I really felt the confusion while I was trying to kill the shades, as you should, but the rest of the team just killed the boss. Would you believe me when I tell you that I actually play higher keys lately?
No?
Yeah, neither. But because we eventually 3-chested it, not because of my doing at all, we had a 10. And because it's Tuesday at the time of recording it, I thought, screw it, and kept going. And even though these two are out of the stream, and because they are my item level, and because they were with me the entire way of pushing the key, I thought it's fine to keep them around, because they also want the weekly vault key on their character. All of us are around 240 to 250 item levels, so I'd say it's fair. Wouldn't you agree? But we needed some upgrades, so we abused the catalyst charges to gain our tier set, which is underwhelming to say the least. Doesn't sound massive whatsoever in terms of damage, but maybe the extra shards on Conflag do make a difference? I don't know, I will see. We also grabbed ourselves some potions and then we were ready to go. To give ourselves a proper chance and a bloodlust, I did invite an overqualified hunter with 3.1k score and 289 item level. Which, before you angrily type in the comments how I'm cheating because I invited those guys for a 10, I would like you to pay attention to this. Ain't gonna be a boost after all. With all of us being equal, holy shit, in some way, shape or form, we made our way through our first +10 with one mission and one mission only. Stay safe, don't overdo it. Smooth sailing. So you bet your ass I was a mega worried when our Demon Hunter was fighting for his life during every pull that contained adapts due to the debuff application. And yet we clinched our hairy cheeks the entire time, just to almost 2-chest it with even an overall DPS that is beyond garbage. That is crazy. But hey, I got Mythlex with my fancy reroll token, so we already have one BIS item to enjoy. And because doing these key levels with low gear is actually somewhat fun, we continue to Myzara Caverns. This time I legit invited people that probably would have been declined from other keys and maybe just joined for a weekly no lever angle. Just to give back a little bit, you know? As this 110 we just did was enough for me for the vault, considering I just started on this Tuesday. So we take some party buffs and make our way to yet another dungeon with plenty of big pulls that could go either absolutely right or terribly wrong. We got trolls, more trolls, low-hanging hogs, which kinda sounds naughty, and even some hairy elephants that occasionally get frisky with their big-ass snake nose. I don't know how to call that in English, but in German it's called Rüssel. And that sounds funny enough to be a universal term, I feel like. Yet in here, we had issues. A lot. See, a good warlock would have used the soulstone in advance on the tank just in case, considering the somewhat low item level. Luckily for you watching this, I ain't one of those. 12 deaths before first boss pretty much makes this a great APAC experience, and so we lost the boss for an attempt to blow some load. Unfortunately, I can't really control my damage here other than to just focus the right target, while cleaving a lot on the second target whenever Havoc procs, which happens a lot. And because our shaman only knows one way, which is forward, he didn't swap target one bit. But no problem. However, shortly after we figured out that the timer potentially is a bit close here, we had to finish up with Rasa fast, skipped almost everything in the end, and then started the final boss with less than 3 minutes to play. Now 3 minutes is fine, because we have a damage amp window and we do have a bloodlust. So if nothing goes wrong, we... Hey, yeah, so apparently the video didn't make it to 12 minutes because I cut too much, so like and subscribe.